do we get harmonized? How do we harmonize policies across borders? I mean, what has been your experience, GVG, being able to, what has been your influence in policy making, and how you've been able to get policy to be done across borders? And if there are examples, please mention them.
Yeah, I'd like to mention one area where I believe that that requires serious policy harmonization. One thing that I've seen in many countries, they are, in order to create digital identity, which we've been talking a lot about, one key element is to acquire what they call a public key infrastructures. In many countries, they have invested millions, and each of those countries will have a PKI, will have a certificate authorities, so they can issue certificate and what is in digital identity, allowing people to sign digitally and access internet. So I think it's important now in this conversation to start having them at a regional level, because there's no point of Rwanda issuing a digital identity. When you go to Senegal, it cannot work. So the different certificate authorities, they need to start putting in place policies where they can trust each other, so your ID can be valid all over Africa. So I think this is one area that requires that we started discussing about how do we, one of the core elements that can enable digital identity, we can have a common policy across the continent. Based on our experience, we've been working very actively with Smart Africa Alliance in order to harmonize the different regulations in countries to lower tariff between countries in terms of calls and roaming. So it's been there are many hubs like in East Africa, in West Africa, where you travel between countries and roaming is free. And for that to be possible, all the regulators had to meet and agree on how they can formalize all of that. So I think those are areas, that tangible examples where collaboration and harmonization has started, and where, which the previous one, which I mentioned, is another area where we should start discussing how we harmonize the different platforms for a real digital identity.
Digital identity is quite